evening everyone, and welcome to a new vlog. I've been vlogging all day, so I'm starting this vlog right on the end of having just finished my previous vlog. So you'll see that I look exactly the same. I have just finished tutoring my first two students, and I have a gap now because I have a student that has cancelled in this time slot. So I have decided that I am going to start reading my new book that I told you in my previous vlog that I was going to read. And you know what? There's nothing quite like that fresh crispness in a book. I know some book readers don't like creasing their books at all, and they read, like this, but I don't mind. I want my books to look nice, but I still also want my books to look read. So I'm going to use this time to start my book, and then it will be time to put the ducks away because it's getting dark here, and obviously foxes and snakes and things like that, and it's Australia, so you can never be too cautious. And then I have another 3 students, and then it will be dinner time. So I just thought it might be nice for a change, instead of starting my vlog at the start of the day, thought maybe it might be nice to do something a little bit different, seeing as my vlogs I am sure can be quite monotonous at times. Do something a little bit different and start my vlog in the evening. Palestine, a 4,000-year history. Good morning, you absolute quacker. What is the matter? It's 6:30 in the morning and the whole street can hear you quacking. Please stop. Good morning, everyone. I'm in the middle of making my bed, and I wanted to show you all what my bedspread, remind you all rather, what my bedspread looks like for this month, because it's about to be the end of the month here, and I want to change my bed sheets. And usually I always tell myself I'm going to show them a before and after, but the thing is I change them in the morning, and I'm obviously not going to make my bed with the before, so I'll show you properly in a minute. That way tomorrow you get a good contrast with the new bedspread that I got a couple of vlogs ago. But I also come with a question for you all this morning. So, as I mentioned yesterday and this morning, and you will have all heard several times over the last several vlogs, Saoirse, the female duck that I have outside, she's literally outside my bedroom, and she's also close to my office. Her quacking has become incessant. Now, I thought that she just needed a period of time to mourn the loss of Darwish when he passed away. But it's just getting worse, and I can't fathom what to do. And now my grandfather suggested that we put her further back. We live on a farm, so we have the luxury of room. But the thing is, we've already dug a massive hole in the ground that you've all seen for a pond there, and I can't justify then moving her in order to get rid of the sound, and then have to redig a new hole in on my grandfather's property. Anyway, so I don't know what to do. And to make matters worse, I have had a neighbor yesterday not strictly complain about the noise per se, but you must remember that we live next door to a duck farm. So I've had a neighbor, he wasn't complaining to me, but he was talking about a complaint, if that makes sense, about the smell coming from the duck farm. Now, if anybody has ever lived on or near a chicken farm or a duck farm, you will know that the smell is abhorrent, and that's me putting it nicely. Anyway, so combining all of that, her incessant quacking has become almost a point of anxiousness, really, because I don't know what to do. I want her to be happy, but I also want her to be calmer and more, or maybe I'm just misunderstanding that this is the nature of ducks, that this incessant quacking is just quite normal for them. I didn't ever expect it to be this much. I knew they quacked, I just didn't know it was this much. Anyway, if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. I have just trialed this morning putting another mirror out there like I did when Darwish passed. I do think it gave her a lot of comfort. I think what happens is her and Darwish grew up together from day dot. whereas Phoenix came in 4 or 5 weeks old, and so they didn't have the same bond. As a consequence, he will go into one pen and she is alone in the other pen, and she quacks until he is back with her. She doesn't like being alone. Maybe that is, a part of Musa's and my fault in the way that we reared her, because we were always with her. I really don't know. I can hear she's about to start again. So anyway, I've trialed that mirror. Hopefully that helps. Maybe I should go see if she's just discovered it, because when I put it out there, she was in the pond. And I also read that maybe putting toy ducks in the pond or something like that would be of use. Anyway, I am at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's right for her. Anyway, like I said, if anyone has any ideas, please let me know. Otherwise, moving on with the morning, I am going to show you what my bedspread looks like. Then I'm going to try and spend some time with them out there. Hopefully that calms her down. I'll do a bit of reading. Oh, also, I am still going to be reading my other book that I got yesterday out of my bookshelf, Palestine, but I also want to read this. The thing is, I like to do a little bit of light reading in between my big books. I've just finished a trilogy, and in between each one of those books, I was reading smaller books. So last night I decided, you know what, I'm just going to read this, and I'm already 2 parts in, and there are 4 parts. Now, the first 2 parts, if you can see, are slightly smaller than the last 2 parts, only slightly. So I started reading Rupi Kaur's Milk and Honey. I've read her other book, Homebody. Now, I believe she published this first. It's just a bit of light poetry. It's nothing, well, I was going to say nothing too deep, but by that I meant nothing too deep in terms of thought-provoking, but it is deep in the sense of it being confronting. I'll say that. Anyway, I'll give you a proper review when I finish it, which very well may be tonight, because that, hence what I meant when I said light reading. If you look at the pages, like there's very little on each page. They are quite literally either proses or poems from start to finish. So I will read this first and then jump back into my other book. I just felt like jumping back into a heavy read straight away it's just not my style. I like to read a heavy book and then some light reading, heavy book, light reading. So I got about 5 pages into it, and then I put it down and decided last night to read this. So anyway, I'll give you a review of this. I'm going to show you the bedspread now, and then we'll go outside. So this is the new tomorrow will be the new bedspread. Actually the new green blanket, the under blanket, is new. You'll remember I got that in Kmart not too long ago, but this is the bedspread I have on for the month of May, and for tomorrow, June, I will be putting a complete green bedspread that I also bought in Kmart recently. I had to replace that pink one, if you remember, that completely fluffed all over the place. So yeah, I do love this bedspread though. This is one of my favorites. I love the floral detail on it. I appreciate that it's really hard to see through the fly screen that I'm recording from, but behind, but if you can see, there's Saoirse there in the middle in front of that little mirror that I put out. Now, unfortunately, the bigger mirror at the moment is with the other 2 ducks because they were essentially in rehab, but I do think it's calmed her down already. Like, she's automatically gone to it, and now she's just kind of hanging out in front of it. And I just noticed that the quacking that she's making is a lot more calm. And all I can assume is that she's got constant company by staring at herself in it, whereas Phoenix often leaves her. As you can tell right now, Phoenix is behind her there. He's just coming now. But he's not always with her, and she tends to quack the moment she is alone. So I think the mirror may very well have helped a lot already. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself. I came out and I found her in front of the mirror, basically face pressed against it. So I do think we might be onto something here. A bit later than usual, but I am all dressed for today. I am about to leave now. I'm just going to go say bye to my family, and I'm going to head off to see my Teta, my Arab grandmother. I am not wearing, usually I wear everything twice, But I decided, well, I'm wearing the turtleneck for the second day in a row, but I decided today that I'd like to try it with that jumper my friend Ismail gifted me belatedly for my birthday. Some of you may remember. Remember, he made it, he embroidered it himself. It says Australian made from imported ingredients. And on the back, I can't show you properly, I'll have to put a photo here, is my tee, the front cover. I was about to say my logo, but that's a different jumper. Is it has my logo on it actually, but it's embedded in, you can see it here, the front cover of my book. Anyway, so I put the white turtleneck underneath to bring out the white that's both on the back and front of the jumper. I know I've been doing really well not wearing jeans for work, but I didn't really have much else that kind of brightened everything up. I needed color. And these seem to go the best. And to try and dress this up a little bit, I've got my Chanel flats on, my fake Chanel dupes on today to make it look a little bit more formal, because I've got a baggy hoodie and some mum jeans, so it kind of looks too casual. Anyway, my hair is in a plaited bun again, but I've got my sword hairpin through it, which I love. You can see it peeking out there. Some silver accessories. You can see my studs. I feel like I was wearing gold for like 2 weeks straight and I didn't change into anything else. So I've got my promise ring with the clouder in the center there. Actually, one of my friends gifted me this for my birthday about 3-4 years ago now. I love it. It's a band of daisies. And then I've got the present I bought myself, the green one, for my 9-year anniversary since I ran away from home. And then a present my grandparents bought me underneath. I really need to do my nails. Don't look at that. Anyway, it is time to go. It's all right, Grandad. You can say hi if you like. But I've just grabbed Granny quickly. You poor thing. I'm sorry. I've ruined your sunbathing. But just in case I forget to film today, because I'll be back later. Granny is very bright in red today. Actually, today we can call you the lady in red. The other day it was the lady in yellow. Now it's a lady in red. Anyway, this is a nice jumper, Granny, very vibrant. And we have some blue jeans, white sneakers, and look at these lovely strand of pearls. Granny went and got one of those pearl necklaces that she bought recently. She's putting it on today, very nice, matching with some pearl earrings. Oh, and the red studs to match the red jumper. Now hair, well, technically speaking, that hat matches perfectly. That's her outdoor hat normally, but the blue, white and red on it matches perfectly with your outfit. Very nice, Granny. Right now, what I need definitely is some Christmas carols to just pick me up. This morning has been such an overwhelming roller coaster for a myriad of reasons. I have shared some of them with you, but I just... do you ever have those days where you feel guilty for feeling not the best, because life is good and you know the struggles that you have are not abnormal, and overall you're quite blessed, so you feel like, you know, slapping yourself across the face and telling yourself to just grow up. But obviously that is also not conducive to anything positive, and it's not the right course of action. But truth be told, today I am really like, whoop. Like, I have my moments where I'm like, no, everything's fine. And then I go back down again. And it's just, I don't know. And I really feel guilty also for taking this mood, this vibe, this energy to my grandmother, because that's the last thing she needs. And I also just went to, as you saw, to say bye to my grandparents. And my grandfather says to me, do you know, God, Bernie, your skin is looking perfect. Oh, I felt so bad, and it's not even like anything wrong, but I have, as you all know, I put concealer on my work days, and also if I'm going out at the weekend, but especially on work days. And so I looked at him and I had to tell him, I'm sorry, it's a mask, I'm covering it up with some good quality concealer, I'm like a patchwork at the moment. Anyway, he was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, no, but in fairness, like, there's no bumps. And I'm like, that's true, because actually, truth be told, on a more positive note, my skin is looking a lot better this morning. There's just so much scarring from all the incessant cystic acne. But anyway, I'm sorry to just dump all that rant on you, but you know, we can't be sunshine and rainbows 24/7, can we? And I wouldn't want you guys to think that I'm an unrealistic person. So there you go. There's my dose of rawness for the day. And I have arrived lunchtime with the Teta. She has, well, actually, my cousin has made some chicken today. And she has made some, we call this burgul. And what?
He, not she.
That's what I said, yeah. And some salad. Thank you, Teta. Thank you. Very nice. And now it's time for Teta's coffee and my tea. All right, and that is the end of lunchtime. I had a wonderful lunch actually with Teta, and Teta gave me some amazing advice. She was constantly she was being comedic beforehand, and then it led into advice. So basically, in true Teta fashion, she was constantly reminding me about how I need to get married and I need to give her great grandchildren and all of those usual talking points that she loves to repeat every time I see her. But she was also giving me some great advice about how I should stay living with family for as long as I can, not just for financial reasons, but also for, I suppose, you know, to maximize longevity. So she was basically giving me some tips about how the elders in your family, they're gone before you know it. And I it's sad because I do think she was also referring to herself indirectly. But as you all know, I live with my Irish grandparents. And so she was basically saying to me, if you can get married and stay living with them, it would be nice for you to be able to get as much time with them as is possible. So yeah, anyway, I thought that was a nice context, because usually when she brings up marriage, she's just bringing it up for the sake of lecturing me on how I'm old and I'm about to get expired. But yeah, it was nice to hear her give me a more positive advice kind of stance. But it's not something I know if I will do anyway, because I think at my age it's more time for me to get my own place. But anyway, that's a separate issue. Who knows what the future may hold, but yeah, thought that was nice. So now it is time to go home. I have work in exactly 1 hour. So I'll go home, have my 3 o'clocks with my grandparents, my cup of tea, and then head off for a nice evening of work. I am in my office ready to start tutoring. I have about 10 minutes before my first student gets here, so I'm just going to spend that time finishing this up. I literally have 1 part left out of the 4 parts, so this will be finished definitely by the time I go to bed tonight. So I'll update you by the end of it what I think of this. All right, look what arrived in the mail for Granny today. I've just finished work, come up to have my dinner, and Granny is deciding to show you all what she got. So if you remember it was a week and a half ago, I think now, wasn't it? Yeah, Granny decided to get some of these turtlenecks like what I was getting. So she got this mustardy colored one. And then of course you need a black one, that's a staple. She got a black one. And then do you know, I think I should get this color. I like this.
It's a lovely brown, actually.
Yeah, it's a really nice chocolatey brown. Yeah. I love it. And then she got the same pink one. I love my pink one. It's so nice. It's a nice little baby pink. And
the green.
My favorite, the green. They're nice colors.
Yeah.
Very nice, Granny.
Lovely colours.
Can't wait to see you wearing them.
I know.
Do you know, someone once said to me years ago that artificial lighting is disgusting and that they prefer, quote unquote, God's lighting. And at the time, I was new into content creation and I didn't really think much about it in the manner that I am now. But at the time, I was just like, light is light. No, the ignorance of me. When I film during the day, it is far superior as when compared with something like this. Anyway, I digress. And somebody asked me, I think in the last vlog or in the vlog before that, what I digress means. I say it a lot, apparently. And I admit, I am sure that I do say it a lot. I digress basically means that I deviated from my point. I didn't stick to what I was originally intending to talk about, and I went along another track that I wasn't meant to. So I hope that helps for anyone that doesn't know what it means. Anyway, I just quickly segued from work into my grandmother showing you her package that she got delivered today. She's excited because it's been, I think, about 2 weeks since I ordered the package for her of turtlenecks. So she's very happy. And now I am, as you can see, taking my jewelry off. I'm going to have a shower, put on a nice set of warm pajamas, get into bed early. It is 8 p.m. and the reason I am excited is because that means I am going to get a couple of hours of reading in, which is awesome. Usually I am not going to bed till about like maybe 10, which is all right. It just means that I don't get much reading at all in. So, excuse me. So I am excited because I want to finish this book and get into my other book. And I won't lie, I'm kind of a bit tempted to read a Jane Austen book or something. I don't know. I'm really in the mood for fiction at the moment, especially after. Whoops, I need to get that one off. Especially after Philip Pullman's trilogy that I just read. I would really like another story similar to that. Anyway. My fingers are swelling. Does anyone else have fingers that swell around night and especially in the morning time? Because mine definitely do. Anyway, I shall see you all tomorrow. Good night. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, I have just let my ducks out. They are going into the pond. And it is so dark because it is currently 6:30 in the morning. Now, I'm a bit confused because usually by 6:30... it's a lot brighter than this, and yet all of a sudden today it is both quite dark and yet quite warm. I can't explain it, but for this time of the morning usually I'd be quite cold. It would be quite brisk, but I don't know. I think the amount of heavy clouds this morning has made it so warm. All right, like I mentioned yesterday, it is time to change my bed sheets. It is the end of the month, so these are going. You guys know the saying, there is nothing quite like fresh bed sheets. Actually, I don't know if that's a saying, so to speak, as opposed to just something that is commonly said, if a difference makes any sense. But anyway, let's give this a whack. I really wish the day would brighten up so it didn't look so gloomy when I'm recording. Anyway, this is the new set that I got. This could really do with a little bit of a steam though. However, I do not have one. I should invest in one. These are the new sheets. I do like them, definitely. However, I do not think that my pink cushions that I put on all the time go. So that is a very first world problem, but I'm wondering if I should have, instead of having pink accents in my room, I should have had maybe cream or off-white type colored accents. Anyway, that's something for me to think about in the future. But for now, this is the look. I am very happy with it. I just think maybe I would be better off if I got a pink under blanket, and then that would solve my issue with my cushions, or rather my pink accents rather in the room. However, I do really like it, and I think it will be nice and warm because it's a thick blanket set. So it'll be good for coming into winter. As of tomorrow, actually, it is officially winter here from tomorrow. Well, the house is cleaned, my bed sheets are changed, and I am wearing a nice comfy set with a pair of sneakers because I am going to try and go for a walk again today. Before I do that, I wanted to show you something. This Jean Keats. I don't know why I'm saying it like that because he's an Englishman, was an Englishman. I have decided to read this before I read. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even looking at the camera. I have decided to read this before I give Palestine a go. I'm just feeling more like something of a light read, and this is quite a heavy read. So obviously this is missing from here, hence the gap. But I'm going to give this a go. But now that I've told you my little book update, I started it last night. I finished, I didn't tell you, I finished Milk and Honey. Hang on. I wasn't intending on making a long video just yet. I wanted to like freshen up first and make myself more presentable after my walk. Anyway, I finished Milk and Honey last night. I actually went to bed really early last night, which is amazing. So when I started this, I only got a page or two in. So I've put Palestine down. I'll pick that up probably after this. God help me, because this is a very long book and the pages are quite thin. But I do love me some John Keats poetry, so I thought why not actually read the entirety of his works. The introduction is, if you like, quite a lengthy introduction that is giving a good background to who he was. So I started this last night and I'm enjoying it so far. I did read just one page this morning. I do like to start my day with at least a page of reading with my cup of tea. Anyway, ended up making a longer video than I had intended. I am now going to walk on the treadmill, not outside. Hence why my footwear, I am wearing just a pair of old sneakers, not my hiking boots, because my legs are still, actually, you know what? Let's two birds with one stone here. I'll stretch while I'm talking. My legs are not getting any better. Remember, I was telling you all about how I've been struggling with pains at the top of my legs, and I've noticed that if I don't walk, they go away. So the doctor is suspicious that I'll need to go to an exercise physio. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. However, I was advised to take a break and to start stretching before I walk, which I did take a break. And then yesterday I started stretching, and today now I'm stretching again before I go. But I'm going on the treadmill because I don't trust myself walking outside, because subconsciously I start walking at a faster pace. It's just my natural pace when it comes to walking. I walk faster naturally. I enjoy that. But on the treadmill, I'm forced to walk at whatever speed I set it to. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to watch another content creator's vlog while I do that. So you guys may be watching my vlog and I'll be watching somebody else's vlog. And the only other thing I wanted to update you on, other than all of that, the ducks outside. Usually when they hear me talking, they start quacking because they want me to go out there with them. Ever since I put that mirror out there yesterday, like gold. I honestly wish I did this sooner. Now, it hasn't been entirely foolproof because I have noticed that there is still the odd quack, but that's fine. She is going to talk, but especially to her friend Phoenix. But it's nothing like what it was before. So I am taking away from that she is incredibly lonely and needs more company. So aside from the fact that I'm thinking I will get her a bigger mirror, I am also thinking that I will be getting the other ducks soon. They were, you know, if you like, in quarantine. I was getting them to rehabilitate themselves and calm down and get used to us just by themselves. But they've had about, I think, roughly speaking, a month of that now. I think I am going to now put them with the other ducks. Now, I was thinking this weekend, but this weekend is going to be raining a lot. And also this weekend, I have family coming over to have some birthday celebrations all together. So that's probably not going to happen. But maybe early next week, I will bring the other ducks down. But good news, she has calmed down, which has calmed me down consequently. Well, here is a place you often never see. Actually, I don't think I've ever taken you into this back room of mine, and the lighting is atrocious, so I will not be here for long with you, but I am on the treadmill, if you can see. So fingers crossed, me legs are good.